Hi, my name is Leona Dominguez Muller. I'm a level 3 from the Academy of Arts, Careers, and Technology, and this is my interview for the Sierra Kids program.
Hi, so let's get started. Tell me about yourself.
So I'm from the Academy of Arts, Careers, and Technology, and I'm in the teaching and training program, so I spend a lot of time building lesson plans and working with children, which I thoroughly enjoyed for the last 2 years, getting to work with them, play with them, and teach them new things.
Okay, what skills do you bring to this job?
Well, I've had a lot of experience working with kids from pretty much all ages, really. I've babysat for most of my life, and I'm really good at keeping them entertained and working with kids and teaching them new skills, whether that's reading to them or working on homework of any sort.
And why is our company interesting to you?
I found it really interesting just because kids spend so much time at school. I think being there for them in the morning and after school and providing some sort of fun within their education is really important, so they don't get too bored, but they're also learning at the same time.
What skills do you hope to learn from this job?
I would hope to learn a little bit more about customer relations and how to work with parents, and whether that be through parent-teacher or parent-assistant conferences, or just getting to know kids and how to work with them better.
Tell me about a difficult work or school situation and how you overcame it.
So I've been in leadership for quite a few years, and there's definitely a lot of problems that come up there just between a bunch of kids that are super ready to get their ideas out there, and everybody's heads just kind of butt every once in a while, so you have to be that person to kind of intervene or help mellow out the situation and kind of get to a conclusion that's helpful for the group. So I think I'm kind of that mediator for people where I can tell them, hey, this is what we need to do and this is how we got to get there, just to kind of keep everyone from just going at each other and completely, avoiding what the work is that we're supposed to be getting done.
Describe a time you went above and beyond.
Recently I was working on a teaching and training project, and it was supposed to be a survey based around our school, or a sort of topic that was interesting or important to us, and I chose grade to survey grade levels and how they reacted to the previous or the current school year, whether that be based on their grades. I did it based on personality types, schools throughout the entire state, and I surveyed them just to kind of see how students were doing and how they were handling the year. And I took way more information down than was really necessary for the project, and it definitely paid off in the end. But definitely all of the charts that had to be cross-referenced was a little bit over the top.
Do you have any commitments that would limit your work hours?
Not so much, because I don't really do anything before school. So before care programs wouldn't be an issue, and then after programs, I do MMA after school, but that's pretty late in the day, and so the after school programs would be done by then. So I don't have anything interfering with the work hours.
How do you handle stress and pressure?
I think a lot of that is finding outlets to put your stress into. So like I said, I do MMA, and I also play a few instruments, and so putting my time into music is really helpful for me to kind of get away from all the stress.
How do you manage work, school, family, and social activities?
I think the easiest way is just to find your priorities, which mine has definitely always been in my work. So whether that's FCCLA or school, that's always my number one priority. So if that has to get done before any sort of social life, that's what it is.
How do you keep yourself organized?
I have a lot of planners and calendars that I keep very neat, and I write in them every single day to make sure that I have everything down to a T.
Describe a time when your work was criticized.
There was an essay I did for English, and it came back, and I missed a few points, and it was on a topic that I felt pretty confident in, and so getting the criticism was kind of hard at first, but then you take it from there, and the teacher did allow me to make it up. So it's like once I know what I can work on and what I can fix, I can go from there, and really that only makes me a better student. So
Describe a time when an adult was wrong. How did you handle the situation?
So another one was when I was working on, it was another English assignment, and there was a part of it that I had done and the teacher had just skipped over, and so it was really no big deal. So I emailed her and pretty much just putting it into very polite terms, because you don't want to be aggressive and be like, hey, fix this, you know. You have to be understanding that they have other students, and so taking other people's feelings into consideration is super important when addressing people or confronting them directly. And that's pretty much what I did, and she emailed me back pretty shortly and fixed it, and it was all good from there.
Give me an example of a time that you failed and what you learned from it.
Well, recently I took the ACT for the first time, and I didn't really get the scores that I was expecting, and failing in that kind of showed me that even when you think you're putting forward your best foot, there's always something more that you can improve on. And really, you just have to strive to be even better than you thought you could be, and just go above and beyond every single time.
What is your biggest pet peeve?
My biggest pet peeve is probably people wasting time. Just whether it's wasting my time, wasting their time, whatever it is. If you're not doing something productive, what's the point? What's the point of anything, you know? So like, don't waste my time, don't waste your time, and let's just get things done for their purpose, and let's be productive and, you know, make the world better.
What do you do in your spare time?
I do MMA, I play instruments, and I read a lot.
What causes are you passionate about?
There's a lot that I'm passionate about, really, whether that's environmental causes or global health. And then there's so many things. I would definitely say that anything progressive really is something that I'm passionate about, whether it's something just based in the US or it's worldwide, something that can better our world. Anything, whether it's something small or big, I'll be passionate about it in some sort of way if everybody contribute to make the world a little better.
Who is your hero and why?
I would say that it's Taylor Swift. She always has been, and it's because she's so passionate about everything she does. She goes into everything with a good heart, and she just takes on the world like an incredible woman, and it's amazing to watch her grow and see how she handles certain situations. And I think I would definitely aspire to be just like her, because she's absolutely amazing in every aspect. She just seems like the kind of person that would go out of their way to do something to make someone's day better. And she's always donated to good charities, so you know her heart's in the right place, and it's not just for show for the media. She shows that she cares so deeply about other people, and I think compassion is a really big thing in this world.
How would you handle a complaint from a customer?
I think the easiest way is to understand what went wrong, just whether, even if maybe you weren't in the wrong and they just had a complaint about something that was completely irrelevant to yourself. I think it's just understanding where they're coming from and kind of going from there, depending on the individual problem, to see how you can fix it and what you can do to make their experience better, because at the end of the day, it'll only get worse if you don't try to help them. So the best you can do is get to their level and help them.
How would you handle an emergency situation?
So in the kids program, emergencies are a big issue, considering kids are always, falling, hurting themselves, throwing things at other kids, whatever it may be. Just knowing procedures and what to do in certain positions, whether that's taking them to nurse, or if it's something I can do, something super simple. I think it's just, having all the preparations in your head at any given moment for what could happen, and knowing fire escapes and all sorts of drills, whether that's for, I don't know, earthquakes, floods, whatever sort of drill schools have implemented. Knowing those is important for the job.
What's your favorite class in school and why?
I would say probably English, just based on reading and writing, because I've always liked free writes, and reading has always been one of my favorites. So that's definitely something that I can enjoy. There's definitely aspects of it that I don't like any other class, but that's probably my favorite.
What volunteer experience do you have?
I've had experience through donation centers for food, clothes, senior centers. I've worked for churches, and I've done charity work with different organizations to fundraise money for clean water and clothes for developing countries.
And if you saw something done incorrectly by a supervisor, how would you handle the situation?
So that's kind of like the adults, is that as they are someone that's technically above you on the chain, you have to remain respectful throughout the entire confrontation, and just go up to them and I think being honest is always the number one thing, whether that's going to sting a little bit. I think it's important to uphold that. So even if they might not take the criticism well, you have to find it in yourself to find the best way to tell them that what they did was wrong. And so just being polite through that, being like, hey, I noticed this happened, and I just wanted to let you know, maybe we can fix this, work it out, or maybe it was just a one-time thing, but I just want to let you know so we can get past it.
Okay. Well, thank you for that time. That will be all I have for you right now.
All right, thank you.